So today let's get to know the nature of human mind. As we know, human being, we compose of two important elements, which is the body and the mind. Everyone seems to know and understand about the body part. We know how to eat good food, how to exercise, how to have enough rest. So we know how to make sure that this body is healthy. With the advanced medical technology, it helps us to understand more about the nature of human body. But in the past, not many people actually proclaim that he or she fully understand the nature of human mind. Fortunately, we have access to the teaching of the Buddha. The Buddha happened to be the mind expert. What he discovered is about the nature of life, the nature of human mind, what causes human being happy and unhappy, and how to remove the mental impurity from human mind. So today let's get to know about it. It is says the mind is the forerunner of all things. If the mind is good, we can remain calm and happy in all situations, whether happiness, sadness, satisfied, dissatisfied. This depends on the condition of human mind. So it is important for us to get to know the nature of our own mind and to know how the mind works. If someone speaks or acts with the corrupted mind, suffering will follow, just like the wheel follows the foot of the ox. Oppositely, if someone speaks or acts with a pure mind, happiness will follow, just like the shadow will keep following him wherever he goes. The mind is one of the most refined and subtle elements in the universe. We never seen our own mind, but we feel like the mind exists somewhere. In the Buddhist text, several places the Buddha mentioned about the nature of the mind. For example, human mind is self-illuminous. In one teaching, he mentioned that human being, we have body and we have the mind is self-illuminous. The reason we don't see the brightness or the luminosity of our mind because the minds get corrupted by the passing defilement, by the mental impurity, namely greed, hatred, and delusion. And the Buddha understands that. That is why he suggests all the monks to find time to purify our mind so we can bring back the clarity of our own mind. And the second thing, the mind is easy to get agitated and excited. It doesn't like to stay still. It gets agitated very easily whether positive or negative. And that makes the mind difficult to control. It will go after whatever it likes all the time, the moment we wake up until the time we go to bed. And that's the second nature of the mind. The trained minds always bring happiness, and untrained mind will bring suffering and problem into our life. Because the longer the mind stays outside the body, the longer the mind keep on wandering, it usually brings more problem into our life. The third nature of the mind is the wandering element. It thinks a lot, it thinks very fast, and it thinks very far. You may be thinking of mind as a monkey. It's like the monkey mind. It doesn't like to stay at one place for long. The monkey will keep on jumping from one tree to another all the time. And if it keeps on jumping like that, that means the mind is not at peace. And when the mind is not at peace, we feel restlessness, we feel tired, we feel that our energy is drained out, get lost with all the thought that happening, the thought about the past, the thought about the future, the thought of something that might never happen at all. According to the study of Harvard study, they found out that 47% of time human being we get lost in thought, something that already happened in the past, and worry about something in the future. We never live life in the present moment. So the wandering mind is an unhealthy mind. The calm and peaceful mind is considered an healthy mind. So this something is worth reflecting on. And if we take a look at the function of the mind, so now we know the nature of the mind. The mind is difficult to control, the mind is very subtle, the mind is easy to get agitated and excited with things all the time, and the mind is wandering object. It keeps on wandering non-stop. By understanding the nature of the mind, we should find time to take good care of the mind by making sure that the mind come back to stay still. The good news is the mind can be trained to be still. There are many meditation techniques out there that are available. From the Buddhist perspective, at least there are 40 techniques that mention in the Buddhist text of how to train the mind to be still. So you can find whatever technique that works for you. Just have self-discipline and give yourself time to continue practice meditation. eventually the mind will become more obedient and it can be stay still. And when that happens, you can slowly feel peace and happiness of your own mind. And there are 4 functions of the mind. I think it's worth understanding it. Number 1, the mind has ability to feel. It can feel whether happy, sad, or neutral feelings. And the second one, the mind has ability to perceive. It can memorize whatever happened in the past, happened at the moment, or what will happen in the future. The mind kept everything that is perceived. It's similar to the hard disk, which has unlimited space. The mind keep everything, whether good, bad, or not good, not bad. And the third function of the mind is the mind has ability to think, to ponder, to think good, think bad, or neutral thinking. And this is getting interesting because if we can control the thinking toward positive thinking or wholesome thinking, this will lead us to have good life, to have peaceful life, more than just allow the mind to keep on wandering, thinking about resentment, thinking about anger, thinking about something bad. And the last characteristic of the mind is the mind has ability to know. It is known as the knowing elements. The mind has ability to know, such as when we see the flower, we know that the eyes see the flower, what kind of flower, what color of those flowers. When we hear the sound, the mind know what kind of sound is that. Is that the bird? Is that the sound of a man? Or is it the sound of a woman? And when we taste the food, the mind also know what kind of taste that we are tasting at the moment, whether it's sweet, it's salty, or it's spicy. So these are the 4 functions of the mind. Again, in short, the mind has ability to feel, has ability to perceive or memorize, the mind has ability to think, to ponder, and the mind has ability to know. All of these are the functions of the mind. So we have come to understand the nature of human mind, understand the function of the mind. The Buddha suggests that everyone should find time to develop the quality of our own mind, to bring back the clarity of the mind through the meditation practice. Whatever meditation technique that you feel easy and comfortable, it's worth spending your time into those meditation practice. Because at the end of the day, everyone wants to be at peace and happy, but sadness and happiness come from the same source, which is human mind. So now you know the nature of the mind, the function of the mind. So please put everything you learn into practice by finding time to nurture your mind through the mindfulness practice and the meditation practice.